Hello everybody, it's time to Wake Up America! He's gonna lock her up. He's gonna round him up. ISIS better giddy up, cause here comes Donald Trump. He's gonna lock her up. He's gonna round him up. ISIS better giddy up, cause here comes Donald Trump. Here comes to save the day by restoring the old American way. You want to make America great? Vote Donald J. Alright, this is Thejazmiles, and right next to me is my man Rick Donovan. I'm about to call you Rick Rock. Rick Donovan. How's everything going this week?
Good.
I see you got your Bills logo there.
Oh yeah, man. Bills are going to do it this year, man.
And you know, I'm wearing number 12 for Brady, but really we're about 12 days away from the start of the season.
Oh yeah. And I think the Bills have put something really good together this year. So, you know, Patriots, man, you better look out this year.
Well, we're going to get to that a little bit later down the road. But we have quite a few topics on this week's show.
Yeah. Walk away.
Oh, yeah.
Exodus.
Oh, a few other things. The G7. More about the Chosen One. I can't believe how much that's blown up. Even people have been checking out our video on the Chosen One on YouTube and on your Facebook. Fox News, yeah.
Chosen One. You know, I kind of wonder, you know, Jazz, are they watching our show?
Well,
it would be great, you know.
I know he sees everything, so we're part of the everything, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, this week at the G7 summit, President Trump was there with the leaders of the free world, and our news media covered it as if he was a man isolated.
Correct.
So, one of the things they wanted to talk about the most is how President Trump wasn't present at the climate control meeting.
Well, this climate thing is a bunch of BS anyway, you know.
You have proof of that?
Well, you know, hey, President Obama, didn't he just buy put a $15 million home right on the water at
Martha's Vineyard, yeah.
Martha's Vineyard?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
the Obamas.
You know, so if the water's creeping up, bro, why are you buying it right on the water there?
If you're listening to the Ocasio crazies and the other ones out there, the sea level's rising and Manhattan and middle of New York is going to be flooded. So yeah, it's definitely, you wouldn't want coastal property.
Well, I think the only thing rising here is the Democratic bullshit that they keep feeding us, you know, with this media garbage, you know.
Definitely. Now, also, speaking of the media garbage, they neglected to cover the fact that President Trump signed a deal with Japan on trade.
Correct.
They're going to be getting a lot of our corn and soy and some other products that the media will have you believe is just laying around and our farmers are dying. Now, I'm sure there may be some dire circumstances with some of the farmers out there, but the president is on the job.
Mm-hmm. Now, he'll protect the farmers, believe me, you know. He's
Now,
going to do what's right.
Definitely.
He always does.
China also has now come to the table themselves wanting to get back into trade talk.
Well, you know, China's going to have to pay their dues, you know. It can't be like we were talking in previous programs, you know, this lopsided war that we're having with trade with China. Things are going to work out, America. You watch and see.
And you know, another small part about the China, I'll call it the China syndrome, that's not being spoken of. So it has been confirmed that Hillary's emails we have Hillary's emails, all 33,000. But they were hidden in a state-run company in China. Do you think some of the trade talk was us trying to get the emails from that company and China not wanting to give them up?
Well, you know, I guess China's going to have to give them up because the pressure's on. Pressure's on them.
Oh,
know.
Definitely.
I mean, they run on our dollar. It ain't like they're running on the yen.
Right.
You know, it's our dollar that makes them powerful. You know, and you know, they better start waking up because we got a president here that's not going to stand for this anymore.
And if you pay attention to how the media does and doesn't cover the president, notice this. When the president was sitting at the table with Boris Johnson and the other folks, the leader of the UK and the other diplomats sitting there, Boris Johnson was the one that straight up said, the U.S. economy is the strongest in the world, the strongest it has ever been. It wasn't the president that said it. It was the UK ambassador, Boris Johnson, that said it.
Yep.
I congratulate the president on everything that the American economy is achieving. It's fantastic to see that, but just to register the thing.
You know, it's what it is out there. All those CNN, I call it, you know, Communist News Network and ABC, America's bullshit commentary. You know, all those guys, you know, that are, you know, just feeding the masses of the people here. You got to start waking up and searching other venues like ours to tell you the truth.
Right. And because there's a storm coming, as the president predicted back in October of 2017, this is the
This represents, well, it makes the count because What's the storm? Could be calm before the storm.
What storm is
We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we have a great evening. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out. But give us a hint and your answers. Thank you, everybody.
Calm before the storm. Well, we're coming up on that 2-year anniversary, and because the deep state know that there's a storm coming, 2 things happened this past weekend. One of them, French President Macron, decided to invite the PM, the premier, the prime minister from Iran to the G7, actually unbeknownst to President Trump. But how did you say President Trump handled it? He was very
I thought he handled it well.
presidential, diplomatic.
Yes, like always.
Okay. Now, why would Macron want President Trump, almost insisting, if you would hear right here,
So I hope that in the next few weeks, based on our discussions, we will be able to achieve the meeting that we just mentioned between President Rouhani and President Trump. Myself and the partners who have a role to play in nuclear negotiations will also be fully involved in these negotiations. And I think that this meeting is very important. And in the last few days have clarified the situation. A lot of messages have been conveyed. A lot of work has been done between our ministers. I would like to thank our ministers who have been totally involved in these discussions and have set the stage for these discussions and for an agreement.
insisting that the president meets with Iran in the next coming weeks? Is it because they know that the FISA information, the deep state information, Hillary emails are coming out in the next few weeks, and they want to distract the world from what's about to be found out?
That's the whole media's thing, is distraction. From
'Cause-
the real truth from what's really going on.
Right, because
all the time, for years.
Donald Trump is the first sitting U.S. president to be in China. He would be the first sitting U.S. president to meet with the leader of Iran. So this would be worldwide coverage.
And he already did that with Kim Jong-un.
Exactly, exactly.
North Korea. Watch your back there, President. I don't trust that little guy.
Oh no, all the world leaders, there's a video trending on 3 days, 3 nights on Twitter. We're also going to run part of it on our program. But there's a video trending showing how all the world leaders are submitting to our president. There's only a couple of holdouts, but that's okay. If you can check in this video, we're going to show the world leaders are submitting to our president, Donald Trump.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Donald Trump ain't handing, our adversaries like Iran 1.5 billion.
No,
in
150.
cash.
150 billion that Barack Obama sent to
Cash.
Iran.
And what did that do? They're still building nuclear weapons.
And still chanting death to America, death to Israel.
Burning our flag, jumping around like they do, and it's sad, where Obama put us is 5 billion. You're saying, right?
No, 150 billion.
150 billion.
$150 billion he flew to Iran overnight. Heavy cargo planes, like the president said. Do you know what type of airplanes
were
were?
a deficit.
Oh my goodness. But once again, why are we giving Iran money at all?
I don't understand.
Okay.
Why?
So now another comment came out this week.
Something's wrong there.
Well, I just want to kick something with you. This is how the deep state works. So there was a comment made that supposedly President Trump said that he wanted to nuke a hurricane. That his idea of eliminating a storm would be nuking a hurricane. The president didn't say that. But let me tell you what it says to me. So once again, there's a storm. The Great Awakening. The calm before the storm. And it has been said that the deep state, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Bill Clintons, the Hillarys, their last go-to move would be to nuke a certain part of any part of America. Is it possible that when they said the president is talking about nuking a storm, that was just code word for them talking about what they would do?
Yes. Yeah. And I think the president's, this whole Russian collusion is going to backfire so bad on all you Biden and Obama and Hillary. Just watch and see.
Well, now, as we talked about, Biden's pulling a ruse. Information has just come out now where John Kerry's stepson, has
walked away from his son. Yes.
Exactly.
The deal he was making
Exactly.
with Russia.
Because a little known fact, who was Secretary of State after Hillary Clinton? John Kerry. That's right. So who was working with Iran to set up that deal for the $150 billion to go? See, all of this isn't Hillary. Hillary did the Russian reset. And what was the Russian reset? Well, Barack and Hillary thought that Russia needed to catch up to the computer times. So they wanted to give Russia a Silicon Valley, kind of like what we have in California. Now, if Russia was to
Which is
interfere,
crazy.
right? Now, why is it crazy though, Rick?
Why do you want to update them and reset their computers and everything? They're one of our number one enemies.
Well, hold on. Now,
So why are you doing that, Hillary?
Now, Andrew McCabe, former FBI, said that his concern about our president mingling with Russia is because Russia is one of our greatest adversaries. But yet, McCabe, you were in the FBI when Hillary and John Kerry was giving Russia computers so they could have a Silicon Valley for their Russian reset. What, Russia wasn't our enemy 3 or 4 years ago, but suddenly when Donald Trump is running for office, Russia is our enemy?
That's the way they do it. They like the American Indians said, they speak with forked tongue.
Forked tongue for real. And you know, speaking of with the forked tongue part, that is leading people to a lot of something you were talking to me about when you came in. You did some research
on the walkaway movement and Jexodus. Who's it?
Oh, grab your notes if you want. Yeah, we got this covered.
Where's
You were saying Brandon Skorka, or
yeah, Brandon Stroka. He just created the walkaway movement earlier this year, and now he's almost got 400,000 members. You know, now we got another lady called her name is Elizabeth Pitko, and she started Jexodus,
right?
Which she's telling the Jewish Americans, hey, walk away from the Democratic Party because
Exactly.
look what they're doing.
Yep.
I mean, they're calling. You know, we got I call the four sisters of jihad that are in Congress.
Oh
you
my
know,
goodness.
They're calling for the death of Israel. They're beating up on Netanyahu. It just, I don't understand it. I mean, please, to the Jewish community out there across America, you know, you don't need to go right to the Republican Party, but there's other parties other than the Democrats. So why, like I said in an earlier program, since this 2020 is coming up, remove yourself, walk away, like Brandon Stroka is trying to tell
Hashtag
people.
walk away. That's why you see it on the bottom of the screen. You can go to the hashtag walk away, get involved with that movement. It's coast to coast. It's everywhere.
And Jexodus now.
And Jexodus. And you know, one other thing, you were mentioning the Fatal Four or the Jihad Four, whatever you call them. It has just come out just this week that Ilhan Omar not only possibly married her brother, not only possibly divorced her brother to marry another man, is currently involved with, you guessed it, a Caucasian man, which she said, aren't they all terrorists?
Yes.
Okay, so she's involved with a Caucasian man who's married,
Yeah, and
whose
that
wife
is pretty ticked off right now.
well, she's filing for divorce and full custody.
Yep. And she should get it, you know.
So when you break this whole picture down, you have people on TV telling you how you should live. AOC, Ilhan Omar, and the others telling you how you should live, how many kids you should have, how much
Not to
money.
eat meat, you can't fly on a plane. I mean,
But now there's video and photos of AOC. Her favorite food is a burger. One of my favorite foods is a burger.
Yeah.
I love Five Guys. I love eating Burger King. I love burgers. I don't do too much McDonald's, but I love eating burgers. And you can see AOC eating burgers, but with her Green New Deal, would you get a burger?
I definitely get burgers all the time.
But not with the Green New Deal.
Oh, not with that. No,
No.
because I don't know what's in that burger.
No.
You know?
That's some bad deal right there.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. To me, it's burgers, meat, man. That's what it is. You know, it's like a nice steak. So please, you know, don't kill all our cows, AOC. You know.
So there's more information coming out that all 4 of the FISA warrants were fraudulently accessed or fraudulently acquired. That's going to lead to some trouble for some peoples.
Yep.
The Peter Strokes and or Lisa Stroke and Peter, whoever from the FBI, and Andrew McCabe, you're probably going to be getting indicted soon. I don't see how that's not going to happen.
You know, and it'll go all the way up to Sloppy Joe.
Oh yeah, James Comey, Sloppy Joe, Trapper.
Oh, that's another thing.
Clapper.
We're talking about, you know, Sleepy Joe. I call him Sloppy Joe, but Sleepy Joe is asleep at the wheel because, you know, he can't even remember what state he's in. And now the Democratic Party, the liberal media, is saying, well, you know, like today I seen it on Fox, you know, well, you know, sometimes candidates, they're so busy they forget, you know, where they're at because there's so many different states that they're visiting. That's a bunch of BS also, you know.
Definitely.
Something's going on up there in the cranium there of Joe Biden, and, you know, I don't wish anything on anybody, but I don't think that guy has the mental capacity, man, to hold a job.
And I think it's all part of the ploy, so when he goes on trial, he can play extra dumb.
Yeah.
When he's on trial for the money to Iran and some of the other deals he's done
Well, you know
over the
what?
years.
He probably it's either, you know, he wants to be president or, gee, this stuff is creeping up my ass. I think I'm going to act this way
Right, in public,
in public.
while
So-
running for president,
Yep.
built-in excuse.
Yeah.
There's one other person I want to touch on with you that we talked about, and we're going to take a break. You were talking to me about Bernie Sanders and his whack job ideas, and
Yes.
he's running as a Democrat.
And he's an independent from Vermont. So why is he even running as a Democrat? Shouldn't he be a third-party candidate?
Well, would he have access to Democratic funds?
Yes, he does. You
I
know,
mean-
he's getting donations from Democratic people, Democratic organizations.
He's in the debate.
Yeah, and so why are you even in the Democratic debates, Bernie? You're an independent. You know, being that I was in the Independence Party for almost 20 years, and you know, I helped build this party since 1997, and now we started with less than 100 people. Now we have over 50,000. But the reason I became a Republican because the Independence Party they got taken over by Governor Cuomo. So now the guys there are just, to me, yes, man. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want, Cuomo.
Right.
Just send me a few bucks.
They think they have a future behind Cuomo. They think he's going to be the next, like he'll be president after Trump or somewhere down the road, they think.
Yep.
But that's not going to happen.
No, not at
So
all.
Bernie Sanders is actually pretty well off. He owns a few homes. He wrote a book. You know, he
And
believes
he's a multimillionaire, but yet he's beating on millionaires. I mean, there's another guy that speaks with a forked tongue.
right. So he'll probably be at Barack's house on Martha's Vineyard, watching the ocean rise, eating hamburgers.
Yep. And, you know, probably doing cannabis, too. Who knows?
Well, you know. We're not going to go on that subject.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.